I'm gonna have to say this. I didn't want to make this live stream. I really didn't want to make this live stream. I really didn't. Didn't want to make this YouTube video for the internet. It is extremely disrespectful. The people that are making fun of people here in Texas for being underprepared. I think it's extremely disrespectful during a pandemic that these people have the audacity to insult this state when people are literally hurting. People have no power at their houses. And when the temperatures got near 0 degrees and at 0 degrees in the northern area of Texas, this isn't a joke. I can't believe the shit I'm seeing. They're making fun of the state and making fun of the people that are in this state, but yet people are literally dying and freezing in their homes. They were freezing in their homes a couple of nights ago. People are suffering in the state of Texas. This isn't funny. People from the north don't understand that people from the south do not have the plows, do not have the systems, do not have the heating capabilities that the northern has. Because it doesn't happen here often. And I cannot believe that people have the audacity to insult the great state of Texas. And it's sickening. Putting memes out there about the state of Texas when people are literally physically dying and they have the audacity to make fun of people from here. I have no power at my house still and no water at my house. But people have the audacity to insult and degrade this beautiful state with beautiful, good people. There's a lot of good people in this state. I know that people have to go through that every single year, Johnson, but it's different here in the South. We have an independent power station. Do you understand that a lot of houses in Texas do not have insulation? Because they don't get that cold here. I mean, well, at the most it gets down to like 45, 50 degrees in South Central Texas. No, there's a lot of people right now. There's thousands of people on Twitter insulting the state of Texas and the people in it, even though people are literally dying. People are being found frozen. It's not funny. And there's a lot of animals that died because the power went out. And guess what? It's not funny to make fun of people like that. I don't make fun of people when things happen in the north or when there's snowstorms. I don't do that. These people are evil. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. These people are evil. They have no soul. They have no soul in their body. They are the most evil, degenerate people of society. They have no soul in their hearts. They have no caring for how many nice people there are in this state. There's a lot of great people in the state of Texas. And for them to degrade and disparage people when they're going through rough times right now, when their pipes are bursting because of the lack of insulation, people don't expect the temperatures to get near 0 degrees in Central Texas. They just don't, because it doesn't happen. It's not because Texans are unprepared. It's because it doesn't happen here. And then to make fun of people when this happens, when the turbines in West Central Texas froze because of the ice that formed. We had ice more than we had snow. I don't know why nobody is defending the great state of Texas and the great people in it. For the Republicans, for the Democrats, for the conservatives, and for all the kids that are freezing right now. This is fucking ridiculous. There's no water here. I'm lucky that they're running on generators right now. There's some areas in San Antonio, like right now, that they don't have electricity, and there's some that do. The point I'm making is there's like lines going all around the corner for people to get fast food because they don't have no food in their fridges because it expired. People didn't really expect it to get this bad this quickly. I knew it was, so I prepared. I got myself a gigantic battery bank. I got myself, some gloves and some mittens just in case, I don't know, the car breaks down or whatnot. The point I'm making is I knew it was going to happen, and I was making YouTube videos before it happened. But because I have such a small YouTube channel, people can't prepare. The weather warned you. The weather people warned you that it would happen. And it's sickening. Now we're above freezing, which is a good thing. But still, the point I'm making is it's ridiculous. People just assume that the entire country gets winter, I guess. The entire country doesn't get winter. Half the time, the only place in Texas that usually gets snow is the Panhandle area, and maybe Abilene and maybe Dallas occasionally. Oklahoma is doing really good because they're part of the states that have shared power. Texas has an independent power. They don't connect with Oklahoma, and they don't connect with other states. They have their own power system. That's the reason why it's suffering so much. The power grid is not connected with any other states. So when the turbines stop spinning because of the ice getting frozen on the turbines, when they're not spinning, if they're not spinning, they're not creating electricity. And then in a combination of the frozen, railroads not getting enough coal, there's problems. And then power lines coming down, from the ice and coming down from the high wind and the snow freezing on the power lines, which creates ice. It becomes a problem. And people don't understand. Texas is meant for heat, not cold. People are sick in the head to make fun of people that are dying here. There's been thousands and thousands and thousands of houses here that have already busted their pipes. That's going to cost them thousands of dollars. A lot of people don't even have insurance to afford that. So that's going to come out of their pocket, or they're just not going to fix it. It's going to become a massive fucking problem later. And they warned everybody that this would happen. And then there's an investigation going on with ERCOT right now. The one that told the energy companies to do rolling power outages, which is just terrible because they ended up fucking everybody over and causing mass destruction, because once people's thermostats go off and their houses aren't warmed anymore, the pipes will burst and then just cause mass chaos. Plus, if people have any medical conditions like breathing problems and they depend on power, and they only have such a battery to last for so many hours, then there's a medical emergencies. Like, I heard a story last night on the news where this lady has a breathing apparatus, and because the power went out at her house, the energy company paid for their hotel room. So people just don't understand Texas. They don't understand that Texas is a hot state, not a cold state. Like, imagine if this happened in Arizona, or imagine if this happened in California. Californians would freeze to death in their houses immediately. Let's say it got down to 10 or 9 degrees in Los Angeles. They would literally freeze to death if their power goes out. But luckily, California's power comes from Henderson, Nevada. It comes from the power plant source, water turbine power. So they probably wouldn't have too many issues. However, they might have issues with water because their water comes from, like, I forgot, like, it comes down like an aqueduct or something like that. I think it comes from like an aqueduct all the way from, like, I don't know, like Washington or Oregon. So if that freezes, then they're not going to get water in Los Angeles, but they might not have power. And then what if it snowed in Los Angeles? I know that is extremely uncommon, but what if it did, like it did here, which is extremely uncommon? Imagine if the temperatures got down near 0 degrees in California. They would be freezing their asses off, and a lot of people don't have generators in Los Angeles. So guess what would happen? They would freeze just as bad as Texans did. And it might even be worse for Californians, because most of their houses, they don't really have a lot of insulation in their houses because the temperatures remain at an even keel throughout the year. I mean, we're maybe, 70s, 80s. I'm talking near, the ocean fronts. But what if it got down near 0 degrees in Los Angeles? What if it did? What if an abnormal cold system came down and brought those temperatures down near zero? And then they're making fun of everybody in Texas. For what? For what? Yeah, I'm talking about San Francisco. I'm talking about Oakland. I'm talking about fucking Los Angeles. I'm talking about Sacramento. I'm talking, what if it got below near 0 degrees in those areas? People would literally die in their houses if the power went out. They can make fun of Texas all they want, but at the end of the day, they wouldn't fare just as well as Texas did. Or what if Texans made fun of Californians because they had massive earthquakes all the time and destroyed all of their property and houses and everything that they know? Would Texans make fun of Californians? No. They would go help them. And it's just sad. It's just sad that people can make fun of the state. It's just really fucking sad.